Now, at the end of the day, when you guys have finished up a show, what to you makes a really good show where you walk away and you say, that's one I'm really, really going to remember?
We'll talk more about the questions you'll see at the polls in just a few moments, but first, let's get some context. Let's talk about how this project came to be, what it includes, and most importantly, how much it's expected to cost. We do have a lot of graduation parties coming up. Maybe people are celebrating anniversaries, family picnics, whatever it might be. You guys offer catering too, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'll draw your attention behind me here to the Gordon Volunteer Fire Department. We've seen many trucks come in here throughout the course of the day. Police do indeed tell us this was a high-speed chase that happened here tonight. It all ended, of course, at the culvers that you see behind me here on Brackett Avenue in Eau Claire. I think it'd be appropriate just to take a moment and talk about the biggest story in the last 24 hours, and that, of course, is the Orlando nightclub shooting that happened Saturday overnight. Let me just first get your reaction. What have people been saying, and just overall, what have your thoughts been?
And the key is to really kind of get a good walking start here. So we're going to get a little bit of a walk ahead of time.
I'm told by Jim here that I'm actually not doing too bad at this. We had a griddle full just a little bit ago. I got a few others here. Coming up on KDLT News, it's day 3 of temps in the 90s, and at one popular cool-down spot, lifeguards are being extra cautious because of the big crowd. Then the heat didn't stop a group of people in Mitchell from honoring a girl killed by a drunk driver. And a Sioux Falls event brings together dozens of cultures represented across the city.
Live in high definition, you're watching KDLT News at 10 on NBC.
Good evening, I'm Kevin Hurd. Many people spent the day at Wildwater West to escape the heat, but for lifeguards, the crowds can be tough to manage. KDLT's Jack Ebel has more. Now, McNamara says last year, Wildwater West lifeguards had to make over 200 water rescues. This year, she says that total is already around 10 rescues since they have opened. Meteorologist Displays Keller joining us a little bit early now. Here it was, day 3 of those 90s again, and it looks like a little relief could be in sight next week, right? All right, we'll look forward to that, Blaze. Thank you very much. Well, Nuatana Watertown man is uninjured after crashing his car into a train Friday night. It happened around 10:15 on the 400 block of 9th Avenue Southwest, or Highway 212. The driver has been identified as Rodney Kessler of Watertown. Police say he did not stop at the signal despite visual and audio warnings. A locomotive was pushing several train cars on the track. Now, one of the passenger doors took a hit when Kessler crashed. Damage is estimated at $3,000. Nobody was injured. Continuing coverage now, crews are still cleaning up after a train derailed in Cottonwood, Minnesota. Now, these viewers submitted photos show the damage. The BNSF train derailed last night. It was heading toward Wilmer, Minnesota, and tipped around 6:30. No one was hurt, and officials are investigating the cause of the crash. Well, 4 years ago, Jeannie Morgan lost her daughter after she was struck by a drunk driver. Since then, Morgan has been on a mission. Her goal is to remind people they do have a choice before they drink and drive. KDLT's Ricky Cody has the story. Now, $3,000 was raised through the race. All proceeds will stay in South Dakota. The money supports families who have lost a loved one in a drunk driving accident. Well, more than 100 countries were represented at the Festival of Cultures this afternoon. Several performers, entertainers, and vendors were at Falls Park. They gave visitors a sample of global tastes and sights. Now, we caught up with the Multicultural Center's executive director. She says more than 140 languages are spoken in Sioux Falls, and the goal of this event is to go beyond introducing those spoken words.
It's a very comfortable place to come and share food, share entertainment, share culture in a way that's not threatening or intimidating, and people can come and talk to each other.
And you still, of course, do have some time to get more information on the festival. If you missed it, we do have information on our website at kdlt.com. Well, for those who preferred to stay indoors, there was no shortage of fun at the Sanford Research Center today. That's where the 5th annual It's All About Science Fair took place. Kids and adults were able to get hands-on with a number of experiments. Now, there were more than 40 exhibits that represent science, technology, engineering, and math. All, of course, are fast-growing industries in the state. Dr. Jill Weimer says the fair promotes education and learning even when school is out for the summer.
I think it's really important during the summer to make sure that we're keeping our kids' brains engaged, that they're learning about science, and one of the best ways to do that is through hands-on learning activities. So to get them in here to the Science Festival, get them actually actively engaged in doing the experiments, it's just going to keep them more excited even in those off months during the summer.
Dr. Weimer says more visitors stopped by this year than in years past. Well, still ahead tonight, the latest out of Orlando, where a young singer was gunned down yesterday. while signing autographs at her concert. The time right now is 10:07. You're watching KDLT News at 10. We'll be right back.